Well, hello, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Tonight, if you guys know, I am bringing you round two of my conversations with the All-American Prepper. And if you remember, we got together a few weeks back and talked about prepping and homesteading and all of those things. So I thought we'd talk tonight about, just some current affairs and maybe some prepping and homesteading and those kind of things. So real quick, let me bring him in. Here we go. Here we go. Well, welcome back, All-American Prepper.
Glad to be back, brother. Glad to be back.
Yeah, you got a lot going on in your life right now, and time to get to work, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I got to set up a complete solar system out here for my mom. Mm-hmm. I got to get her off the grid because my dad is passing from cancer, and the money that she gets in, there's just no way she can make it. So I got to get her off the grid. That's the only way she's going to be able to make it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to just make that public that just so I say to you and to all the prayer warriors out there, the All-American Prepper's dad is really struggling right now and, searching, approaching the end if, something else doesn't happen. So make sure we send our prayers, All-American Prepper's way. But I have a special surprise for all of you guys tonight. So I thought, because I had the All-American Prepper, and for those of you guys who remember, him from our last video, he's not short of words and kind of says it like it is, which is good, right? I got a lot of really good comments back on that video about they liked the directness. I thought, let's just have a direct, pull the Band-Aid off, Apocapalooza event here tonight. And so I also invited in today Mr. Grumpy from Grumpy Acres.
How's everybody doing?
Yep. So everybody welcome Mr. Grumpy. And so what you guys been up to? Grumpy, what's new on your farm? Anything new and exciting? Anything you're working on?
Just lots of work. We're packing up and getting ready to take the vendor tent down to the Oklahoma Homestead Expo this weekend. Mm-hmm. We were showing the house sitters what to do today and doing some final packing and everything. And we're heading out tomorrow morning. Gonna go share the message with the people in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So what message is that, Garen? What message are you sharing?
Community, building alternative economies, becoming educate yourself on why you believe what you believe. I'm shocked when I talk to people that they know they're upset, they know they're angry about stuff. They've got no clue as to why. They can point to the government or but they can't tell you who they are, and they can't tell you what the government is exactly doing, why they should be upset. So that's I'm going to go share my experience with them and try to get some focus and take it directly to the beast.
Yeah, well, we got to starve the beast. That's important. And I'm thankful, Garen, that you're willing to be a missionary to go, do that work because, I know, and All-American, I know, it's tough work, right? Just spreading the message and getting it out. So All-American, what's going on in your world and in your community in that? I know you're putting a solar system in or working on it. I know you've got some tribulation in your life, but on the prepping and homestead front, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I did some videos today. Been working the homestead a lot today just to keep my mind occupied instead of dwelling on what's going on with my dad. He's a hero. He's a 3-time Vietnam veteran. And he taught me every trick that he learned from the VC. Mm-hmm. I mean, traps, just everything that they used against him, he brought that knowledge home and he taught me. Mm-hmm. And, I remember as a kid, him telling me, boy, don't believe nothing the news says. And he was talking about the mainstream media. And now that I've gotten older and I realize it's nothing but mainstream propaganda, he was right. He was right about so many things. So it's going to be hard on me to lose his wisdom because the man, he taught me how to grow everything that I know how to grow. He basically taught me, how to homestead. He taught me everything. So now I'm going to be winging it on my own without him sitting over there in his chair, raising hell at me, telling me I'm doing it wrong. So,
yeah. Well, hey, I wanted to say hello real quick. Hey, Jules, Stray Kitten, Matt, good evening to you. Helen, who else? DeVries Custom Leather. See, I got that right. See, Half Bubble Off Plum, greatest name on the internet, unique prepping. Grumpy Acres, what's up? Hey, how'd you get in both of them? You're just a smart guy, G.
I commented on my. I've got a browser window open up with my channel muted, and I can't reply back. I can't reply back that way through StreamYard. You have to do it on your channel. So if I want, he said, hey, so I wanted to say hey back to him.
Yeah, cool.
Specifically, so.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Starla. All right. Well, hey, guys, let's talk about the news. Let's talk about what's going on. What's the most alarming thing you guys are following in the news today? Since we're talking about propaganda.
Dinesh D'Souza did a video today where he talked to the Oath Keeper guy who's sitting in jail right now for what he did on January 6th.
And he got 11 years, right?
Right. And he was convicted in the DC court circuit, and he was explaining what happened to him. And I think the most alarming thing that right now that's at the front of my mind is the fact that he is sitting in jail because of his speech, not because of an action that he took, because of his exercising his free speech. And he said the judge told the jury, who was a sympathetic jury to the prosecution, that they could infer intent from previous political speeches that he had given, whether he was trying to overthrow or commit a seditious act. So they have now officially criminalized free speech in America.
Man, it's like the thought police.
Yep.
We talk about starve the beast. We may end up having to slay the beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk all the time about this particular topic about how, I don't know the right answer to all of this. And you guys, and specifically you, Grumpy, you know this because we've had many a deep conversation about it. But I really think that the single best thing we can be doing right now is just not participating in the system. Just get out of the system. Don't participate in it. Voting, maybe on the local level does a little bit, but certainly nationally does not. Get out of the electrical co-ops, get out of the water systems, get out of the credit systems, get out of the belief you have this thing called equity, just get out of it, the whole system. I don't know if you guys agree with that or disagree with that, but it's kind of where I'm at in my journey. All American?
I agree with it 100%. That's what I've been trying to do for the last 6 years. And I've pretty much done it. I don't need their grocery stores. I don't need their electricity. I don't need their water. They really don't have anything to offer me. Mm-hmm. I don't need anything. I've got everything I need. So, I got a good wife. I got a good life. It rained today. Garden's doing great. Got me a hog earlier today. I slow smoked it. So got plenty of meat put back. I mean, I literally live off the land. The land provides. And I'm not worried about all this weird crap they're putting in our food because I basically use rabbit droppings for fertilizer. Yep. I don't use chemical fertilizer, don't use pesticides. I don't have to buy any of their stuff. The only thing that I buy is soap because I am just obsessed with soap.
We need to send you some soap.
I'm obsessed with soap. Little Miss Prepper's right here. Come here.
Get with Shelly from Two Old Crows. They sell the best homemade soap short of my wife's. But we don't have any dairy goats right now. But Two Old Crows, they sell some of the best soap out there. Seriously.
Yeah, I was thinking too, All American Prepper, you need a free man hat.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm going to send you a free man hat and we're going to send you some Yoda soap. How's that sound?
Man, that sounds fabulous.
We don't have any Yoda soap.
You don't have any Yoda soap? Okay, I'm going to send you bee soap.
Yeah, you forget our milk doughs died.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We got one coming to us, but not right now.
Yeah, All American Prepper, email me your address and I'll send you a free man hat and some bee soap.
Roger that. Yeah, that's. And I don't know if you ever saw that show Fight Club years back, but where he said soap is the yardstick to civilization. Well, that's the only thing I need is my ass some soap. Everything else, I'm good.
But,
But,
Garen,
you know,
Garen, what do you think about all that?
So we're not ready. I hear people. This is another thing that concerns me. I hear people talking about revolution and all this, and it's nonsense. It's nonsense right now. The atmosphere in this country is not to the point where it's something like that can be successful. And if you do it, if you don't do it properly, you end up losing, and you end up in a worse position you are than whenever you started.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a point now. We're at a point now to where is it inevitable? I don't know. I certainly hope not, because I think we can all agree that the when it goes hot, or if it goes hot, that's not a good thing for anybody, right? But what we can start doing is we can start creating this culture within the patriot movement and the homesteading movement and the prepper movement, or whatever you want to call it, where modern self-sufficiency and independent thinking and trying to uphold the ideas that are enumerated in the Constitution are a part of the culture, and it's what drives our community. And then we start doing the things like we're constantly talking about on our channels, building community, building economies that separate us from the financial system that keeps everyone in debt, educating ourselves, educating our kids, educating our grandkids. You know, we're prepping the battlefield now for some future battle that may happen. And I'll tell you, perfect example of why I'm right. Go to any lake this summer on a Sunday afternoon, and what are you going to see? You're going to see people pulling these great big, huge, expensive boats out of the water, because going to the lake on a weekend, on a long weekend, is more important than taking care of business and worrying about self-sufficiency and all that. And it's not until you see that type of stuff go away, and you start hearing NASCAR dads and soccer moms complaining about stuff. And it honestly, it's not going to come to a head until those two groups are looking at their little Johnny and Janes and wondering how they're going to feed them the next day. So it's not, if you're out there, to all the viewers out there, if you're out there saying, oh, we need a revolution, you need to rethink that. You just need to seriously rethink that right now. You know, is it an option? Yes, it is an option. Is it the option right now? I don't think so.
Hold on, Garen. I want to challenge you a little bit here.
Okay.
Not on the violent side of revolution, but there's another kind of revolution. The revolution of I'm not participating in the system anymore. We can wage a revolution. It's just not a violent one. We can say, hey, I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm just not doing it. I'm not listening to the bullshit. I'm not participating in the bullshit. I'm doing it for myself. Go ahead.
Yes, that is a form of revolution, but that is a preparatory battle for what may come. Mm-hmm. Because if building that culture like what you just described does not work, the Constitution gives us an opt-out. And it was tried once, and there's people that believe in the federal government that say that the discussion has been closed. I don't believe that. I think it was put on hold. I think it was put on hold, and it may take, and it's not going to, it may take another event like the previous one to take place for it to be decided once and for all.
Yeah. All-American Prepper, I'm going to get your thoughts, but real quick, Ghost Lacan, hello, how are you? Ashton Hood, hello. Rosie, welcome back. Oh, Ghetto, what's up, Ghetto?
There's Ghetto.
Sandy, hello. Laura Wilson, hello. All right, All-American Prepper, what do you think about what Garen had to say? I'm going to get your thoughts, but real quick.
I think you're on point with that. If a lot of people, that's screaming that we need a revolution, most of them have never been in combat, and they don't realize just how savage and just how bad things will be. When I was in Bosnia, when all that went down, man, it was savagery. It was bad. I cannot unsee it. I mean, neighbors were killing neighbors. I mean, it was insanity. And I definitely don't want to see that happen in our country. That's
Okay,
that's for sure.
All American, I got a question for you, since you were there firsthand, because I firmly believe that Americans, when they do something, they go all out. They do it they put the pedal to the metal, and they do it to the best of their ability. Knowing what you saw in the former Yugoslavian Republic, you think Americans can outdo them in
No.
the viciousness of it all? You don't think Americans can be more vicious?
I just think there's a lot of talking heads, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of people talking, but when it comes time to truly stand up, I just wonder, will they really stand up? I mean, it's easy to say it, but, you know, you can go to my channel and scroll down to my very first video. And I was in an MMA fight. The guy I was fighting was a 2-time world heavyweight champion, almost 8 foot tall. I'm 5'9". He is literally a giant. And out of 100 fighters there, I was the only one that would get in that cage and fight him. Now, did he kick my ass? Hell yeah, he kicked my ass. He hit me so hard I saw my grandmama. But I still will fight.
Yeah, I think. But I think the point is, Cali Unknown said it. And by the way, Cali Unknown, gold star. If I could do something more to this comment, I would absolutely do more to it. But consent is one of the most powerful tools in our belt. And I think this is exactly to my point. The only way the system works is by us consenting to the system. If we stop consenting to the system won't work anymore. The only way a ruler, a tyrannical ruler, the only way a Caesar, the only way a dictator, the only way Adolf Hitler managed to make it work was by consent. That's it. You know, the courage, how much less courage does it take to withdraw your consent versus to pick up arms? And G, we'll start with you.
Well, I think that probably the most profound thing you said in that Star of the Beast video that you did a couple of days ago was the power of no and how it's a complete sentence. Yep. That right there speaks directly to what Cali Unknown said, you know, and I agree. If we don't consent, then it's not legitimate, you know. And I'm going to disagree with people, because I saw Ghetto said that Americans are docile, unfortunately, and what All Americans said. I'm going to tell you, when it comes down to it, if people decide that they need to start getting nasty, we're gonna make Yugoslavia look like child's play, because we've proven it time and time again. You know, the first time around in the American Civil War, what, 600,000 people just on one side dead? Yeah, listen, Americans are good at everything they do when they put their minds to it, and unfortunately, good or bad, it's in the cards if it comes to it. I hate to say, at least in my opinion. Okay, no, you're absolutely right. Consent. The power of no. Start saying no, people. Seriously.
Yeah, I love that. That no is a complete sentence. Absolutely love it. Hey, real quick. Hey, Gregory. Hey, Lisa. And Wolfgang, what's up? Go ahead, American Prepper. What do you got?
I will not comply.
I shall not comply. Right.
I will not comply. Am I being detained or am I free to go? I plead the fifth. Yeah. So that's my mentality. You know, I work as a bouncer. I'll throw them hands. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody. Even if I know I'm going to lose, I will still stand up.
Yeah, that's
just who I am.
Lisa says when it's time to stand up, 90% will back down and leave the other 10% to take the heat. You agree or disagree, All-American?
Well, from experience, I was bouncing at a club. There was 12 bouncers there. A guy pulled a gun in the parking lot. My right-hand man named Tiny, which he's a giant.
Isn't there always a right-hand man named Tiny? Like always, or lefty or something like that?
Yeah, especially down here in the South. Well, Tiny looked at him and he said, people that shoot people, they just do it. They don't talk about it. Well, the other 10 bouncers ran and hid behind a metal door and was peeking from around the door. left me and him out there by ourselves. And you know what? We threw down with those guys and we beat the hell out of them. And Tiny still has that man's gun.
I love it.
Tiny sounds like a cool guy.
Tiny, he's my man. That's my guy right there. He's my go-to. I trust him with my life.
Hey, Dana Green, how are you? You'd P, did I say that right? You'd P, that's a pretty good comment. So You'd P says, out of 100, 10 is a fighter, 1's a warrior, the rest is a target. G, what do you think?
Hey, saying no is scary. Saying no is scary, and not everybody. That our society has been conditioned to not say no, and we have to relearn as a culture how to say no to the powers that be. You know, I love the gun community. One of the funniest things in the gun community is the army of hunters. If something bad happens, Wisconsin's got more people that have hunting license than the U.S. Army or whatever. You know, there's that meme out there. I'm going to tell you what, if something goes down, that army of hunters is not going to materialize. And I think P's 10% thing, or the 10% thing, I think that's wildly overrating it. Now, there are some good numbers out there. If you look at whenever Maryland put the AR ban on, they had a 2% compliance rate. You know, of people that they thought had ARs, only 2% of those people complied. So there are people out there that whenever the situation's right, they will say no, and they will do it. What we need to do between now and the time something happens is we need to, again, foster that culture where saying no is okay. And how do we do it, Tag? How do we insulate ourselves from saying no by ourselves?
We build community.
Bingo. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So the treasured home of Sylvia Jane, which another Gold Star comment says, we also say no by how we spend our money. Is that right, American Prepper?
We vote with our dollars. And for that comment earlier that the rest will be targets. Hey, as long as the rest are drawing fire, I'm good with that. While the targets are drawing fire, my aim will be true. So hopefully they are drawing fire.
Yeah. If
it comes down to it.
You like this statement, Grumpy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We vote with our dollars. We should vote with our dollars every single day. I mean, this whole brouhaha with Bud Light, my God, they've lost $17 billion worth of sales, and it's bad enough. It's bad enough that people are boycotting Bud Light, but they're going to other InBev products because InBev owns Bud Light, plus they own about 75 other brands. But they're going to these other products, and it's hurt InBev's bottom line so bad that they're actually talking about curtailing production of Bud Light just to stop the bleeding. Target's stocks just the last couple of days are down lower than they've been in about 3 years because of the whole LGBT thing. And they announced today that they're getting rid of the clothing, the Pride clothing, which has got the radicals all up in arms, and they were calling in bomb threats in California and Ohio today to Target stores because of it. You know, but yes, treasured home is absolutely right. It works, and we should all be trying to do it.
Yeah, you know, I have an interesting theory about Budweiser and Target. Since we're on the topic, I wasn't really going to go here, but we're here, so we might as well go ahead. You know, you talk about them losing billions of dollars, and, you know, their stock prices are falling, which is how they judge, you know, a lot of those things. But I'm going to tell you something as someone who's run big companies, and that I always looked at an opportunity to buy my stock back cheap, because what that did is that increased the swing I had in each single company. If I walked into it owning 4% and I could buy back a whole bunch of stock, you know, dissolve that stock, I could be in a position to where I own 10 or 12% of the company, which made my swing bigger. So with the onslaught of the economic turmoil that are going on, with the coming Fed now, with the digital dollar, with all of these things coming on, there is an actual advantageous position from both Bud Light and also from Target from their stock going down. And I'd love to hear your guys' comments on this, and then I'll move on. But just my own weird theory in between my ears. Go ahead, All American.
From what I'm seeing, if you go woke, you go broke.
What do you think, Gene?
Well, okay, so the boycotts will not drive companies out of business. Dick's Sporting Goods is a prime example. They're still around even after their ban on selling ARs and ammunition and all that stuff. And that was what, in the early 2000s. So they're still around. It will not break companies because they've got the money's fungible and they've got the ability to move stuff around. And as far as the Bud Light thing goes, I was reading something the other day. There's a pretty good argument to be made that this whole thing was a ploy so that they could buy back all the Bud Light and sell it overseas at a larger profit. Because I lived in Japan for a year, and Budweiser products were import beers, and you paid a premium price for it. So there's I think at the end of the day, it was a miscalculation, especially on the Bud Light. That was a woke millennial trying to push something on people that she should not have pushed it on. And they're doing what they can to do damage control right now. But I think you're absolutely correct in your summation of they're making the best out of the lemons they were handed.
Well, there's ways to profit big on that. If you can heal it, if you can buy it all back at 50 cents on the dollar, heal it. Now you've got more swing, or in your particular case, have more stock to sell. But I think it's at least an interesting theory worthy of considering.
I don't think they did it on purpose, but I think what you're saying is how they're damage controlling it, and they're going to use it to their advantage. And because they're big corporations, they've got people way smarter than us working on their finances and their legal, and they're not going to go out of business anytime soon, no matter what we do.
No,
but we should still be voting with our dollars.
Amen. Yeah, Gregory says we've all been conditioned to compromise until we wise up. Yeah, I don't think I could agree more. I think the conditioning is such an important part of all of this. We're taught to go and, go to high school, get out of high school, go to college, take on a bunch of debt, get out of debt, or get out of college, bring that debt into the workforce, get a job, work 40 years, get done with working 40 years, never actually own a home, right? Because we always need a newer home. We always need a better car. We always need new things. And then we become in this consumerism circle, to which then we retire. 4 years later, we go on Social Security. 3 years later, we go in a nursing home, and through Medicare spend downs, they spend all of the money that we made through the course of our entire lives. And it was all a scam anyway. And I think that's the conditioning, Go ahead, Garen. Go ahead. What are you shaking your head about?
Dude, you just picked a scab. Oh my God. I know you didn't mean to. You just picked a scab. I was 16 years old. On my 16th birthday, my dad took me down to the Missouri Teachers Credit Union and got me a signature loan at 16, $1,000 signature loan to buy a 90-day CD that gave back 3% interest. And in and of itself, it's a good idea for an investment, because getting 3% back on a $1,000 investment is not a big thing, and because I think at the end of the day I made 1.7, and it was just sitting there. But the thing it did was it conditioned me to think I need to get into the debt cycle. I need to borrow money in order to be successful. And I'm not adverse to borrowing money, like land. They're not making dirt anymore. So I can see the benefit of taking a loan out for dirt. But something like that, teaching a 16-year-old kid that, and I know he meant well. I know he meant well 100%. But he put me on a treadmill that I was on for, God, he put me on a treadmill I was on for 40 years. Well, not 40 years, 30 years. How much better off would I be right now if I wasn't on that treadmill?
You tell me.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even imagine what things would be like if I wasn't.
Go into that a little deeper. What do you mean by treadmill? Because I think if you can get people to grasp what you're saying right here, it's one of the most powerful things that they'll hear spoken about anywhere, any place, anytime, because this is such a big thing that most people never get.
Okay. No, it's simple. Getting out of debt is the easiest thing to do. You stop spending money. You stop spending more money than you make. It's simple. Seriously, that's how simple it is, everybody. Just quit spending the frickin' money. Staying out of debt is probably, in American society now, is probably one of the most hardest things that a young person or a young couple will do, because our entire society is built around getting debt. They look at the first thing, you go to any college campus and they still do it, because I was talking to somebody that took their kid to college last fall, and it was exactly like it was when I went to college in 1984. The credit card companies set up tents. They allow them to. That's what's even worse. That's what's worse. They set up tents on the quad at these schools, and they get these kids to sign up for a credit card. So they get these credit cards with initial conditions that are really favorable. I mean, they're really favorable. In 90 days, though, they become like every other credit card, and the simple fact is that credit of any sort, even if you're buying land and you're investing in a company, credit of any sort is a snake, and eventually it will bite you. That's as simple as I can make it, man.
Yeah. Cali Unknown says, I think that people overcoming the indoctrination system slowly and surely more and more will adapt to stand their ground. I have faith in humanity. I try to have faith in humanity. American Prepper, what about you? You got faith in humanity?
I'm really not so sure. I'm not so sure. I just know that people need to live below their means. Mm-hmm. You see, if you watch my videos, I live in a tiny home. I take a bath in a kiddie pool, which is actually, I bet my bathtub's bigger than yours, but
I bet it is too.
Yeah. I use a 5-gallon bucket with a garbage bag in it. Could I afford to be paying $1,600 a month rent? Maybe. But am I going to? Hell no. Not going to do it. You're a slave. These people are a slave to their debt. I know people that if they was to lose their job, they have no savings. They have nothing put back. They don't know how to live outside the system. They just don't know how to. I know how to live with outside the system. I am literally that Hank Williams song, A Country Boy Will Survive. I just don't need anything they're offering, and I don't want it. Like earlier, he was mentioning about watching, about the guy on, getting locked up for all those years and everything. I don't have a television in my home, so I wouldn't know. I mean, if it's not on YouTube, I don't know. I don't have cable. I don't have DishNet. I don't have any of that. I'm running off my neighbor's Wi-Fi because they gave me their password. I mow their yard for their password to their Wi-Fi.
I love it. Oh my God, that's awesome.
People used to call me tightwad. I'm like, yeah, I might be tightwad, but I refuse to be a slave. I run 7 miles a day. People may find that hard to believe, especially down here in Florida. And a lot of times, little Miss Preppers right here, she'll tell you I run it in flip-flops, of all things, because I wear work boots all night. Working as a bouncer, I wear steel-toe boots, because steel-toe boots is legal brass knuckles for your feet. So the first thing I want to do is take them damn boots off. So when I get home, I take those boots off. I put my flip-flops on, throw my backpack on my back. I run down the road. As I'm running, the only thing that gets me to stop is, there's an aluminum can right there. And I pick them cans up, throw them in my backpack, keep running. And they're like, man, why are you picking up them cans? I'm like, hey, that's money, buddy. That's metal. It's any way you can You know, make that money any way you can, picking up cans, you know, just anything you can to get free of the system. Get your ass out of debt, even if you got to pick up cans, whatever you got to do, or you will be a slave. And for people, you know, younger than us, is Social Security even going to be there when they get our age? Is it even going to be there? You know, so it's a scam. And like you said, you know, about Bud Light, you know, buying it while it's on the low. Well, my dad taught me a long time ago, play the fool to fool the fool.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been a plan from the get-go.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You really don't know. They could be playing the fool to fool the fool.
Yeah. That's a shirt. Playing the fool to fool the fool.
Yeah.
I wonder how people would get it. Hey, Ghetto, who I purposely started this comment, is an incredible contributor to a lot of channels that I watch.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a really smart comment. It says, agreed, but more importantly, we need to say no on how we spend our time. Time is real currency. This is what really means, which really saying is, and I would have worded it differently. I would have said, we need to figure out how to spend our energy and energy capital. But I think this is, him and I are speaking the same language. This is what I mean by exit. Exit the system and build your own community, build your own, you know, economies, build your own barter systems. You know, there's another comment down here from Unique Prepping that talks about we also need to get off money and get to actual trading. And, you know, I think we can create these systems. You know, Gene and I were talking before the video today about he's going to do a missionary trip to Oklahoma and then to Missouri back to back for the community. And his message is about how do we interlock all of these communities so we can do commerce and we can do these kinds of things. And I think in the end, this is will be the most productive way to get our freedoms back, in my personal opinion, would be to go down that road. But G, what do you think about that?
You know, anybody that's watched my channel, I say this time and time again. You know, think of yourself as an arrow. You can shoot straight and you can hit the target and you can be very effective by yourself. But at the end of the day, it's easily broken. A single arrow is easily broken. But if you take and you start adding arrows to it and create a bundle, a fascine, it becomes harder and harder to break. And eventually it gets to the point where it's unbreakable. No single power can break that. And that's what we need to start doing as patriots. We need to stop looking at internally, and we start looking outside ourselves, and we need to start bringing people together. And you don't have to like everybody that's in that quiver. Because
No.
God, Lord knows I don't. Lord knows I don't like everybody that's in our quiver. Yep. But they're integral. They are very important to the way it all fits together. So yeah, I agree 100%, man. We need to get out and combining just like All American did. This is how you do it right there. Boom.
Yeah. Yep. And I think we got to start thinking beyond our 5 miles or beyond our 10 miles, beyond our 20 miles, and start really thinking about, you know, how can we yoke up, you know, from Arizona into Texas up into Oklahoma, and from Oklahoma into Colorado and Kansas, and from Kansas, you know, into Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky, which then goes to North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, right? I mean, how do we create this complete parallel, you know, society in a lot of ways that allow us to choose where we spend our money or our energy, as Ghetto so eloquently said. Dennis said the only way to put a big hurt on those corporations is to advertise all of their sub-entities and to boycott the corporation as a whole. Yep, I don't know how you would do that, because like I said, I come up from business, and we had holding companies that owned businesses that owned businesses that owned businesses. And it's hard to track all that stuff down in a lot of times. But I do agree with him.
Go look at the family tree of InBev. Seriously, since Bud Light was a topic earlier. Go look at the family tree of InBev, and it's amazing. It's amazing what AB InBev owns. Seriously, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, American. Go ahead.
My wife, she's right here. Come here, little Miss Prepper. I call her Little Miss Dangerous because she smacks me around occasionally. But What is the most important thing to me? What do I keep telling you?
You actually tell me a lot of.
Yeah, I tell her a lot of things. Time.
Oh yes, time is everything to him, especially time that even we just spent together.
Time is more precious than you can't buy time back. You can't do it.
Mhm.
You can earn money and you can spend it and you can go out and earn more, but you can't buy time.
You can never get that time back.
You can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's why, the time that we spend together is so precious to me. And I try to make every second count. It's literally, I tell her, she's like a time machine, because when she's not around me, an hour seems like a day. I mean, it's like I would live forever. When she's around me, a day is like an hour. It's gone. And so, time is very precious. And what you spend your time on, make it count. We all have an expiration date. Make your time count. Don't just complain. Make a change. Do the things that really matter. Get the hell out of the system. Make a change, man. Live free. Just like your hat says, man. Free man. Free your mind and your ass will fall. Stop falling for all this indoctrination. Oh, I gotta have this, and no, the hell you don't. I don't even have a flushing toilet, and I'm still alive. I take a bath in a freaking kiddie pool, and I'm still alive, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
and you wear your brass knuckles on your toes.
You're damn right I do. A good bad intentions kick to the shin with them damn steel toe boots. They'll make somebody start behaving very quickly.
Yeah. Hey, Faith K, which is I really like Faith. There's times a lot on my lives and on challenges channel where she'll challenge things, which I really appreciate, because it helps open up minds. And she's really, really good at this. But anyway, she made a excuse me. She says, I was made to take a signature loan out on a CD to earn interest and begin my credit history at 17. Then I got a credit card when I was able, and the cycle was moving. Isn't it crazy how, and I wanted to bring this up, isn't it crazy how we as parents are also conditioned to put our kids into the matrix? And we put them in through Christmas. We put them in through Halloween, through Thanksgiving, through 4th of July, becoming a consumer, right? We put them in through easy credit. We indoctrinate them into the Prussian school system that teaches them a routine and a bell and follow the leader. And, these people are superior to you. And we as parents continue to, help indoctrinate youth, just like Grumpy, you talked about your parents doing it. And in this particular case, Faith's parents doing it. And I'd love to hear your guys' takes on parents indoctrinating their children.
I don't even have a bank account. And as far as my kids goes, when Christmas came, I would invite the Jehovah's Witnesses over, because they don't celebrate Christmas. And I'm like, well, guess what? This Christmas, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not buying you shit. Get out there and earn it. So, I've always made my kids earn everything. My girls were the first girls ever in America to win boys division Roman Greco state champion wrestling. And for a girl to be able to beat a boy, that's just unnatural. Mm-hmm. Just as unnatural as it is for a male to compete in a female sport. That is unnatural and not fair. But don't even get me started on that. But it's fair, in my opinion, for a girl to enter a male sport and kick their asses, and then I have all these dads, they're like, man, they don't realize, they're out in the parking lot not realizing that I'm those girls' dads that their son just got their ass kicked by. And they're like really hating on their son. And I'm like, well, it comes down to training. Get his ass off the Xbox and get him training. Because I never gave my kids steroids. I just made them eat good food. They you know, what does that say about our school system? My kids went to school 1 or 2 days a week and made straight A's. They did most of their homework in the back seat of the car, driving from point A to point B to get trained by the best people in the world that I could find to train them.
Hey, Holly says, and I'd like to hear, so we'll start with you, G. Holly says they keep threatening our Social Security. What do you think about that, G?
Again, picking a scab. My entire adult life, that is what I've heard. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen until they completely run the economy into the ground. So the people I feel bad for old people. I really do, because you're reaching the end of your life, and it's scary. You don't know. And I'm, dude. Listen, I'm right there. My entire retirement. No, I'm the same age as old people, and it's really weird. But anyway, because of the choices I've made over the last 2 years and becoming free, my entire retirement system is gone. I've got 5 to 7 years to rebuild my retirement system, or else I don't know what I'm going to do. But you know what? So I feel for them. But they've been saying it ever since I first voted in 1986. They've been saying it. It's never happened. And anybody that buys into that lie, I don't know what to tell people. Seriously.
But isn't this just a tool, G? I mean, isn't the threatening of Social Security and many other things just a tool to keep us divided? It's a tool to keep the right versus the left. It's a tool to keep us in the polls. It's a tool to keep us voting. It's a tool to keep us enslaved into the system. Make a problem, find a solution, make a problem, find a solution, watch, rinse, repeat. I mean, it's a predatory behavior, perpetrated on elderly people by our own federal government, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And financially, just across the board in this country, they've been kicking the can down the road since I became an adult, since I started voting in 86. And realistically, you could look at what was going on. There was road to kick it down. Mm-hmm. You could look at it and you could say, yeah, okay, I don't agree with it, but I can see where we can make it last a little bit longer. Mm. Dude, I'm and I'm no financial expert, but I'm looking at everything and I'm listening to people that are financial experts. We're quickly running out of road. Yes. Seriously, there's a dead end sign. If we have not passed it, it's coming up pretty darn soon. Yeah. And it scares me, not for myself, but for the people that have not planned for it. Because I'm not quite in the same boat as All American. He's quite a bit further down that road, but in the last 2 years, we've made a lot of strides to become more free from the system. We own our house and we're doing the gardening thing. We're rebuilding our homestead. So we're better off than 95% of the people in this country, just realistically. And that's not bragging. That's just a statement of fact. But, oh God, I feel sorry for people. I seriously, I really do, because they've been duped. Yeah,
they've been totally duped. All American, go ahead. You were going to say?
Yeah, my retirement plan is being self-reliant. I done made it. Now, do I work? Yeah, I work. The reason why I work is, looks like soon I'm going to have to take on a lot of my mom's bills, and I was raised, you take care of your parents. I'm old school. And but I enjoy my job. I said it before, I don't do anything that I do not enjoy. And I enjoy working as a bouncer. Maybe I got issues, I don't mind getting punched in the face. It's just, okay, oh, you hit me. All right, now I get to put my hands on you and do whatever the hell I've been wanting to do to you all night because you've been a real pain in the ass. But I enjoy my job, and a drunk thinks he can fight 4,000 times better than he can. And like I said, you good kick to the shin with them steel toe boots and that changes a lot of them's way of thinking. And, you know, I was a pro MMA fighter. You know, I mean, I'm not a badass. Like I said, you go to my very first video, you will see me get my ass whooped by a giant. But, and I brag about it because I was the only one that had the stones to step in the cage with him. You know, there was literally 100 other guys there that could have fought him. They were like, hell no, I ain't getting in there and fighting that guy. And I'm that guy, like, hold my beer. I'll get in there. Let's do this. And yeah, I got slapped the hell out in the first round, but it didn't hurt. And I'm still alive. And it was a good experience.
DeVries Custom Leathers in the house, and he made me a free man belt, and it's the baddest ass belt ever. Anyone who looking for leather goods, this is a great place to go. But anyway, he says, never retire, keep swinging for the fences. The fixed income is a government trap. And before you guys comment, I wanted to add another comment to this because it lies right in there. What good is Social Security? Try living on $1,200 a month. Allow me to begin. I think the issue here is, I tell my wife all the time, you know, I made big money for a long time in business. And, but we've set a goal out to have what we call the McDonald's life. And what that means is I'm going to put myself in a situation where I can take care of all my needs, my wants, everything that we need on an income from McDonald's. And as long as I can do that, I'm going to be in pretty good shape. So what good is Social Security? Try living on $1,200 a month. Well, I think the art is the front side versus the back side money. The front side argument says, hey, I need to make more and more money, more and more money, more and more money. The backside argument means I'm not going to have a mortgage. I'm not going to have an electric bill. I'm not going to have a water bill, right? That I'm going to wage the war of income on the backside of the argument instead of on the front side of the argument. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. All American, we'll start with you.
That's it. That's why I take it back. You know, in Florida, you know, it's hot and hotter. We don't have a true winter. But there is a few nights, you know, where it'll get like 30 degrees, maybe 2 nights out of the year. But I still get my ass in that pool. I do not care. You know, I'll get in that. I refuse to comply. I will not pay this rent. I will not do it. I don't need hot water except for to make my coffee. And then I use oak limbs. I have a video I made yesterday. You know, I eat wild edibles. That's a big part of my diet. I literally go out and eat weeds, and I cook them over oak limbs. Couple of reasons. Well, hurricanes come through here, tore my property to hell and back. I got trees down everywhere. So I just go out there and cut the limbs, throw them in the grill, light them on fire, cook my food. Doesn't cost me nothing. And I'm not cooking inside the bunker, so I'm not getting the hot inside there. So, you know, I just refuse to comply. They can take their damn electricity and shove it. They can take everything and shove it. I don't need it.
Yeah, I think, G, I want you to comment, but I think on that same topic, you know, Towards Joy and Freedom is a younger couple I met at the Self-Reliance Festival a while back, and they're just fabulous people. Ended up getting to have dinner, hang out, chill. We talked a bunch since then. And but anyway, they said agree tag. It's not as much as what you make, it's what you keep. Go ahead, G.
First off, hot water has a completely different meaning in Northeast Kansas than it does. You seriously, having a way to make hot water in Northeast Kansas in the middle of winter is paramount to survival. So I appreciate what you said. Completely different animal up here. You know, and Tag, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
correct
sir.
me if I'm wrong, because I know your situation, you know mine. The biggest opponent that we have right now is the county assessor and county taxes.
Correct.
Because we're both pretty much debt free. Well, he's way more debt free than I am.
Yeah.
But the taxes are how they will take your property from you. Is if you do everything. And you call it the McDonald's life, I call it the Walmart greeter life. Because I sat down and I did the math.
Yeah.
If I can get our utilities off grid and I can be my own utility department and everything else, I could go be a greeter at Walmart and live the same lifestyle I'm living right now with a well-paying IT job, you know? And so, and that should be everybody's goal. First thing you should do is figure out how much you need to live on. Make a damn budget. Figure out what it's going to cost you to maintain the same lifestyle, you know, and then look at your lifestyle and see if you should maybe cut it back.
Yeah.
You know?
G's wife says they gave up 65% of their income to be free. And they did. I know their journey super, super well. Gave it up all to live free. And now you guys are living totally free, which is badass. And, you know, you don't live in a house that the bank owns, which is also badass.
I'm 57 in July. And the job I have right now is the first job I've ever had in my entire life because I wanted it, not because I had to have a job. How screwed up is that? That it took me 57 years to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's somebody out there that's a 20-something listening to this and listening to all the mistakes that us old timers have made. Because my God, I had a band director. Yes, I was a band geek. Full disclosure, I was a band geek. Had a director that used to go like this. He used to go, "Why is youth wasted on the young?" Dude, yeah, I know. When I was 17, I used to laugh just like Ty just did. Now that I'm 57, I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, I get it. I completely understand, man.
Well, you know, you guys were talking about property taxes, and you know, Storm Rider says property taxes are what scare me. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. You know, go ahead. Go ahead, all Americans.
Man, since everybody's been moving their ass to Florida, okay, this property out here used to sell for $5,000 an acre. I was talking to a real estate lady that was selling some land right down the road from me. And she's like, it's a good deal. It's $100,000 an acre. And I'm like, what the? And now this year, my property tax is $4,000. I'm so pissed off about that. You know, $4,000 just for property tax. I'm like, damn, I take a bath in a kiddie pool. I got my own electricity. I use a 5-gallon, and now I got to pay $4,000 for my property tax. Are you freaking kidding me? So yeah, that's another way they're going to end up with a lot of people's land is they're going to tax us to death. I just couldn't believe it, you know. And then like, oh, it's $100,000 an acre. That's a good deal. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I bought this property for $5,000 an acre not that long ago. You know, okay. But now
I'm going to get a little radical here.
Go ahead, radical. Rip it off, G. Rip it off.
What happens whenever the tax man comes to take your property and you say no? I'm not moving. I'm not giving it up. And you draw the line in your sand. And the reason why I say this is because after everything I've been through over the last 2 years, if the county was to come to my gate and say, okay, we're taking your property on back taxes, that's a line that can't be crossed. I would rather pay the ultimate price than let them do that to me. And how many people in the audience have worked their entire lives to build something on the property that they have? And Tag, I know what you've been through. I know how tied you are to what you've done. What if they came to your door and they said, we're going to take it? You know, is that something that people are willing to do?
Yeah. I think this is a super valid point. And I think that the thing is and I want to make sure I stress this point. It's all about timing, right? So the goal is, we talk about having a Walmart life, or we talk about having a McDonald's life. My goal, and I've reached this goal. I have no other mandatory expenses other than taxes. Everything else I provide for myself. I don't have anything else. So I think the more of the stroke that we remove, right? The electric company, the water company, the mortgage company, the car, loan company, the food, the more of the stroke that we remove out of our lives, the better I can withstand the taxes. And I think the goal has to be to withstand as long as I can. I think because timing, right? We talked about NASCAR, which is one of my favorite quotes from you, Garen, in all of time, is, nothing's going to change until the NASCAR dads and the soccer moms get pissed. And so can I wait out where we can get some critical momentum? But I think at the end of the day, I think taxes are going to be the way they come in. But here's the thing. It's going to affect 99% of the population before it affects me. And I know that's heartless to say, but it is, because I'm going to put myself in a position to where I can withstand $12 a gallon fuel. I can withstand doubling taxes. I can withstand those things because I'm not in debt up to my eyebrows, because I don't go try to keep up with the Joneses. Go ahead, your rebuttal.
Dude, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just got to be faster than the guy next to you. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I can answer that question if they was to come up to me and tell me, yo, man, you worked your ass off, you've done this, you've done that, but we're taking your land. Well, it's going to be freaking Waco and the Branch Davidians shit all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't coming out.
Yeah, I did not want to go there. I know when I was saying that I did not want to go there, but you're 100% correct. You got to draw a line, man. Seriously, people need, and the line for Tag and the line for All American, the line for me may not be the same line for everybody else, but you need to sit down, and we're getting to the point where you really need to think about, where's that line for me? What line am I not willing to let somebody cross? Because if you don't have a line that you're not willing to let somebody cross, you're not willing to stand up, they're going to cross it, and they're going to keep crossing it, and keep crossing it, and we're going to end up in some fucking we're going to end up in some dystopian future where the government owns everything. They're telling us what to do, and we have no freedoms.
Well, I'll be dead, so I won't be worried about it, because they're going to have to kill my ass. They ain't taking shit. They ain't taking my 5-gallon bucket of beans. It's going to end badly for somebody. And it might be
All American, salute. Salute, man.
Amen, brother.
Yeah,
some of us just not going to put up with that shit. That shit ain't going to fly. It's just not going to fly, man. I'm telling you, it's going. It may end bad for me. Probably will. But I won't have to be worried about no property taxes no more. And I'm going to take as many of them women as I can. You can believe that. They're going to earn their money. It's going to be like, oh, shit, they're working as a bouncer that day because they're going to earn their money, come try to take my land.
Tag, you're either going to get demonetized or limited, or this may get yanked.
Whatever.
It's good.
It's all good. Hey, so, guys, this is a great place to end it. We've been going in about an hour. And I'm going to give you guys final words, and then I'll let you go and say my final words, and we'll do this again sometime soon. Because, it's just got to get doing that. So real quick, All American Prepper, what are your final words to everybody? I know we got together tonight just to talk about what was on our mind, and we'll do it again. Maybe we should do this trio again in a week or two.
That sounds great to me.
I like it.
Yeah,
I love it.
You know what? All American Prepper, G's been my buddy for a long, long time. If you've got another buddy YouTuber that you want to get on, tell me, and we'll do I was going to say foursome, but that sound bad. But anyway.
Hey, Tag's been my friend for a long time, but full disclosure, I've got low standards.
That's true. Very, very true. Very, very true. But anyway, All American, I'm going to give you some last words. What do you got to say?
Get prepared. Don't be scared. Don't buy into the fear porn. Mm-hmm. Do your best to pay your property tax. Hope to God I can pay mine, or it's going to end badly. And get out of the system just the best you can. Live below your means. Mm-hmm. Just live below your means. Everybody's living above their means. And they're like, damn, well, damn, you got a brand new car. What the hell? Live below your means.
Yeah.
And just become self-reliant. Grow your own food. That way you trust it. If I can't grow it, hunt it, or catch it, I don't want to eat it. Honestly, so I like living that way. It is what it is. Little Miss Prepper, she's a badass for being able to hang with me.
I agree.
And
she's got her hands full.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I do.
If you can get your ass out there and take a bath in the damn kiddie pool and do what you got to do. That's just what I do to live free. I just want to be a free man. I want to be a true American, a true patriot. Freedom.
But you send me a mailing address and an email. I will send you a free man hat.
Yeah.
And then one of these next times you'll be wearing a free man hat, which will be badass. All right, G, what you got, man?
Number one, I want to see a video from All American once he gets that hat. He should do a specific video. The second thing is, we've been blackpilling people all night long. We've been telling them how effed up stuff is. And I think it's important, and everybody needs to take this message to heart. If you're going to tell people how messed up it is, you need to provide a solution, right? You need to look at people, and you should tell people that have no clue what's going on how screwed up stuff is, and you should scare the hell out of them. But after you do that, you need to tell them, you need to give them solutions, all right? And the solutions to everything that we talked about tonight: build community. Because together we're stronger. And I'm here to tell you, the last 18 months, I probably would have ate a gun had I not had community, because we had some really messed up stuff happen. And I was not as prepared as I thought I was. Mm-hmm. But my community helped me out. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like Tag is his last Starve the Beast video. Disengage yourself from the system that keeps you in slavery, and it's honestly, it's really easy because all you got to do is say no, and you just got to spend your money. You got to spend your money conscientiously. You got to think. No, I'm sorry, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You need to think about it. You need to spend your money conscientiously. And the third thing is get educated. Understand why you believe what you believe, because there's a lot of people out there that are upset, and rightly so, because it's easy to see the government encroachment. It's easy to understand, or it's easy to see how the bureaucracy is taking things in a direction they shouldn't be. But you need to understand why it's wrong. Educate yourself, and then share it with everybody else. Share your experience, share your knowledge. Don't take. Probably the most important thing Tag has taught me over the last 2 years: don't teach people. Seriously, don't. You're not a teacher. You're a person that has experiences, and the only teachers there are is people that they pay money to go learn from. Everybody else is no better than the person that they're talking to. All right, so share your experiences. Be evangelical. Go out. Be an ambassador. Take what you learned tonight, or the experiences that you were exposed to tonight, and go share them with somebody that doesn't know. They've still got the blinders on. They're still buying into the propaganda. Go share it with them. Don't get upset whenever they don't understand what you're saying, but keep at it. Eventually, circumstances will come to the point where they understand what you're talking about, and they will understand that they're better off listening to you because you give them a better vision of the future than what the government can.
Yeah, I think well said. I think my closing comments is I'm going to ask you both a question. Okay. Okay. So we'll start with you because we did it the other way last time. So why do they call it a conspiracy theory instead of a thought theory or an idea theory?
Geez, I never thought of that. Seriously, you know why? You know why they do that?
Yes, I do.
They do it. They do it because if they call it a conspiracy theory, they can brush it off. Mm-hmm. Seriously,
they're telling you it's wrong before you've even heard the idea.
Exactly. I don't
want to ruin it. Go ahead.
You're crazy.
You're
crazy. You're crazy. The things that you're thinking about, Tag, are insane.
I know, right?
They make no sense. Mm-hmm. Go spend your credit card and buy this pharmaceutical drug that will make your penis hard. Sorry. Yeah. Oh man, I'm seriously. It's gonna be a rough night around here because you got No, but you understand what I'm saying. I do. You understand what I'm saying.
So, All America Prepper, why do they call it a conspiracy theory instead of a thought or an idea theory?
Well, to make it seem like the person that has independent thought, that sees things the way they are instead of the way they want you to see them. They just want you wearing a tinfoil hat and just make you not seem credible. And, you know, hell, I'm kind of batshit crazy. I don't even lie about that. But, I mean, I look at, see what's going on around me. And, you know, I mean, I know a train wreck when I see one. And that's why I live off grid. And I do the things I do because I cherish every moment. I see what my dad's going through. So y'all, please say a prayer for my dad. I'd appreciate that. And just make every minute count. And, you know, I've ran out of conspiracy theories because they've all come true.
Right. Yeah.
So,
You know, I think it's, I'm sorry, go G.
I'm sorry. Yoda just popped in. She wanted me to share this with you.
Okay.
Well, first off, me personally, you know the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? Anymore about 6 months.
Yeah. 6 weeks.
yeah. Yeah.
Angela just popped in here and she said conspiracy theory, they want you to second guess yourself and question what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you know, guys, I've thought about this a lot. This is a topic I've actually spent some considerable amount of time in between my ears on. You know, the stuff that you think about when you're working or you're doing whatever. And I think that they're giving you the answer ahead of time. What they're saying is, here's an idea, but it's wrong. And not only is it wrong, you'd be a little kooky to believe it, which is why we call it a conspiracy theory instead of a thought theory or an idea theory. And I wanted to make this my parting notes because I think that so much of that is going on with the word equity, right? When they try to tell you that you have it in a home. Or, I mean, there's a million different examples out there. The word woke, the word any of them. They're trying to give you the answer prior to the test so that you just comply again, as the Prussian school system, you know, was built all those, you know, many, many years ago. And so I wanted that to be my parting notes, just to say, listen to what they're saying. Pay attention, right? Don't just accept it for what it is, because everything's a lie, to include Fox News, you guys, you conservatives out there. Fox News is as big a scam as CNN is, and so is the rest of them. Don't listen to any of the shit. Anyway.
Did I just see you knock over a sacred cow? Did you push over a sacred cow?
Who did I skip?
No, you pushed over Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying they're wrong. That'll upset some.
I know.
That will upset some people, man.
It will. And anyway, guys, you can join Grumpy every Tuesday night on his live. Tag and B does a live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Do you do a normal live or anything like that, All America Prepper?
I just do random lives.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll be live on
Survivalist Prepper?
Survivalist Prepper, I believe.
Okay. All right, cool. Maybe we can get him on and we'll all do a foursome together. Be fun.
That sounds great. Kind of, sort of.
All right, guys, listen, you know, keep your head up, go live freer today than you did yesterday. Hold the line. Do not give a single inch. The time is now. The time is to do what G said, which is say no. It's a complete sentence. Everybody have a good night.